morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. Got some coffee in hand. It's Friday. How's it going, man?
Yeah. Well, it's going pretty good, honestly. Not as good for Buffalo, maybe, but it was good for me. I watched the game last night, Bo, over at my friend's house, and they just moved into their brand new house. My first sergeant, James, so they moved in their brand new home, and so they wanted to test out the pool. They had the hot tub, they had the fajitas, the margaritas, and the football game. So I sat there in the hot tub drinking margaritas, watching the Bills get the crap kicked out of them by the Texans, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, it was a good night last night. Good night last night.
Yeah, that game was it was a little rough. Hey, Win, you actually were our redraw winner for our draft cups. So
Nice.
I got to have you send me your address so I can ship these out to you. They're Seahawks, so sorry about that. But it is from the Seahawks official watch party or draft party. And they light up the
Oh, that's dope.
The original winner we couldn't get a hold of, and so when I did the redraw, I didn't do it on camera. But yeah, so you ended up being the winner. So yeah, you'll have to send me a DM on Facebook or Twitter, one of the platforms, for your address so I can ship them out to you.
I'm curious, if you don't mind me asking, could you put or Bo maybe even know who is your football team? Like, who is her football team?
That's true. Cooper Kupp is on the team now. Absolutely.
So she might be a Rams fan then. And you know what that would be like? That'd be like Pags. That'd be like me winning a thing with Pags, and Pags sends me an Eagles Cup. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
I mean, I guess the thing that's that's right.
Oh, she's a Packers fan.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, stay tuned. We give stuff away basically based on our subscribers on YouTube. So every time we hit a milestone, we give away something else. So when we hit 1250, we did the drawing for this. When we hit 1500, we are actually giving away a signed Jake Bobo card. This is an event that I was actually a guest football coach for. So
nice.
So yeah, I got one of these. We're going to give away when we get to the 1500 mark. I got a couple of these and a couple from the Tyler Lockett event that I also was a guest coach for, and so those are all based on subscriber levels. So as we hit 1500, that'll be the next thing we give away.
Just out of curiosity, who got the statue that you had that one time? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So anyway, let's talk about the Bills here because obviously they look like they might be a little bit in trouble here because that offensive line gave up 7 or 8 sacks last night, and some of it you could say maybe Josh Allen held the ball too long, but when you're watching them back, because I'm obviously I make a lot of videos, and he didn't have a lot of time on those sacks. Like his offensive line was doing him no favors. One of the ones that I put together is right here, and you can actually see Dawkins just give up on this play. Exactly. Yeah. Oh no. So this is Dawkins absolutely giving up on the play. This was one of the, again, 7 or 8 sacks that Josh Allen ended up having. And
pressure, pocket collapsing, down he goes. Well, sooner or later, Will Anderson was going to get a sack, and there it was.
Like, that is absolutely insane.
Under pressure, pocket collapsing, down he goes. Well, sooner or later, Will Anderson was going to get a sack, and there it was.
That's so, like, that dude was like, let me just look like I'm doing my job. Hey, guys, do me a favor. Don't sack him. Just let me look like I'm trying to get a contract here. And hell with it. Just go. Just do what you got.
Now, to be fair, obviously he gave up on this play, and it's a bad look. But at the same time, it was a meeting at the quarterback. So if you watch this right through here, it didn't matter because everybody was there. Like he's got 3 guys bringing him to the ground. So although
the one Texas guy jumped over the other Texas guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, so the offensive line wasn't slowing anybody down, but Dawkins right there. He legitimately just gave up, right? Like he had a fistful of jersey from the shoulder pad. He got stood up, and then he just stopped moving his feet. It'd be one if the argument was he didn't want to get a holding call. Okay, you can let go, right? Yeah, because you obviously, if you have a fistful of jersey, you're probably going to get a flag. So I get the letting go, but you know what you can do is keep moving your feet to stay in front of the defender. So maybe you're not locked up with him, and maybe that defender's still going to beat you because it's Will Anderson. At the same time, you can't just be like, oh, bye. Like you're going to get your quarterback killed doing stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing with Buffalo that I figured out, is number one, they have a lot of injuries, right? Ed Oliver, he's not back. I mean, there's quite a Kincaid? He's not there. Coleman was a healthy scratch. I mean, they literally, that Buffalo team was nothing more than Cook and Allen trying to do the best they could because they really had nobody else, man. And I will tell you though, Texans, don't sleep on them because their defense is still elite. It really is. They're first in passing yards allowed, right? Points per game. There's a lot of spots.
They're first in total yards. I mean, they're top 5 in points scored. Like they are a top level defense. So I'm definitely not taking anything away from that. At the same time, the biggest issue with the Bills is the games they've lost. So they lose to the Texans, who, let's be real, aren't a good team. They got smacked by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Also, bad team, right? Yeah. They got hit by the Falcons. Also a bad team. So, like, they are losing to some rough situations here. They lost to the Patriots, but that's not a terrible loss. Yeah, they looked good last night. The defense really did, for sure. So, Joe, that's funny, but I can't put that on screen. So.
Oh, yeah. Wow, Joe. Donna, you need to go talk to Joe in the chat group. I think he's looking at more porn. I know I'm getting accused of. I think Joe's over there.
God, we made it almost 10 minutes without Jay talking about porn.
No. Hey, well, she gives me a lot of flack, so I said it's time to give Joe a little bit of the love. But back to sports. I one thing I thought about this was I felt like they kind of went away from James Cook a little bit and got away from the run. I felt like if a lot of your wide receivers aren't there for you, which they weren't, why are you not utilizing the one strength that you do have, which is Cook, and let him run the ball? Now, they're going to say, well, don't take the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. I'm not saying take it completely out of his hands, but what I am saying is sometimes you got to reinvent yourself when when the receivers aren't there and go with what worked. And James Cook was working at certain points, I felt like. They were able to run him.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's if you're a Texans fan, you got to like some of the stuff you saw. If you're a Bills fan, you're worried.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
you're worried.
At this point, your hope is a wild card position. But I mean, if you're going to keep losing to bad teams, even if you make it, what, you won and done? Now all of a sudden you're starting to wonder, do these all these people that have been clamoring to fire McDermott over the last couple of years, does that start to gain a lot of momentum as well?
Well, the one thing I've noticed about this season, which is, I think this season for me, I don't know about you, but for me, this season has been just bizarre. And what I mean is the teams that we thought were going to be great, going into a Super Bowl contending teams really aren't there. And the ones that we were just like, I'm not really buying this. They're the ones that are there. For example, Chicago being there, Carolina coming up the ranks and kind of trying to make a case for themselves. Mm-hmm. But then you get the teams like Kansas City, who, by all means, we have championship DNA. I just think it's lost somewhere or got diluted down. And now they're basically teetering on nothing. And then you got teams like Danny Dimes, and we were like, I don't know about Danny. I don't know. And now they're top of their division looking pretty nice.
Well, I mean, the thing with Daniel Jones, though, is think about his one good year in New York was when Saquon Barkley was going crazy.
Absolutely.
Right?
And now he's got Jonathan Taylor.
Exactly. Yeah. So, of course, he's doing well. I would bet most quarterbacks could do well if you have a running back that is in the conversation for breaking the rushing record.
Yeah. And let's not take anything away from going back real quick to the Texans game. Let's not take anything away from Davis Mills, man. In absence of not having CJ Stroud there, and I understand Buffalo is missing some key players in that defense. I don't want to take anything away from that thought. But at the same time, though, Davis Mills has been, for the last couple of games, really getting Texas going in the right direction. I mean, they've won the last two. They're 6-5. They're in the hunt. They're not out of it. They can still make the wild card at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like their division's awesome anyway. So, I mean, obviously they're still in the mix. The Bills are a little bit different of a question there. And no, they don't win mathematically, if that's what you mean. But, I mean, they're going to beat up on the Bengals, and then they have the Giants right after it. They're going to beat them up too, probably. So that third game, I believe, is the Bills. So that game probably matters a lot.
Yeah, obviously Frankie is a Patriots guy, and he's all on the Patriots and everything out of his mouth. Look how great we are. Look how great we are. Best team, baby. Best team in the league, baby. And I'm like, Frankie, I understand you got the best record. I don't want to take anything away from you on that. But at the same time, your schedule hasn't exactly been the most daunting compared to other teams. And I feel like, a lot of people are on this band rush of New England with the best record and having home field and all that. Yeah. But I just think they're waiting. They're going to have their moment when that's going to come down. I do not have them winning the AFC Championship. Or even maybe if they get that.
No, so the Patriots are way ahead of schedule as far as I'm concerned. So their defense is no joke. They have a good defense. Then you look at the offense, and May is ahead of where I thought he would be.
Yeah,
and the offense in general is farther ahead than I thought they would be.
Right.
So, they've already won more games than I thought they were going to win this season. So, I mean, obviously I was way wrong at my, preseason prediction there. I thought they were going to be like a 7-win team, but, huge credit to Vrabel for turning this thing around so quickly. Obviously the guys really like to play for him, but because they're ahead of schedule, the team's so young, I would bet that somebody gets them in the playoffs. Right. And again, they haven't had a tough schedule. We're going to see what they do here in a few weeks when they have Buffalo and the Ravens, right? But outside of those two games, they don't have any hard opponents. So their next 6 games, they have the Bengals next, which they should beat the brakes off the Bengals, especially because there's no chase, right? So Joe Burrow comes back, but it doesn't matter. Right. Then it's the Giants. Also, not a good team. Then it's going to be the Bills and the Ravens. And then it's the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, you have 2 of your next 6 opponents are over 500.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. You should win a bunch of these games. So that being said, this is probably a 14-win team.
Yeah.
13 or 14 wins. So you're going to win the division. You're probably going to get a first round bye. But yeah, I would bet that the first or the second game, like, I don't think they make it through the championship round. I think some of that will just be they're young. There's a lot of inexperience when it comes to those pressure moments, and the teams you're going to face are going to be great. And, it's sort of like OKC in that first year losing in the second round in basketball, right? Were they the best team in the playoffs? Yeah, probably. But the inexperience got them.
Exactly. And I really think if what's scary about this team for me is not this year, because like I said, this year, like you said, the experience is going to get them in the end. They're not going to get it done this year. But when you look at the way they're trending with the amount of draft capital in the next 2 years and the amount of cap space that they have available, if we're able, and look, this draft that he did this year, four of them are really doing well. Like, he drafted extremely well this year. And if he continues to draft well on the next 2 drafts and continues to bring in the right mix of free agents to give you that veteran leadership and things, this team in the next year or two could be very scary.
Realistically, next year could be that, because they actually have quite a few draft picks for next season. I forget the exact number now.
It's 10, I believe, 10 or 11.
I remember it was quite a few, and they do have cap space because they got a lot of young people that are on their rookie deals. So they could absolutely build something impressive.
And they actually have 21. They have 21 picks between this year and next year.
Yeah.
21. Yeah. You can package them, do whatever to get bigger name players, either in free agency or moving up in the draft to get higher caliber players. They can really, really, really do some damage with that amount of capital and space. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's nuts.
They are really set up to build something great. And, as an analyst, you're like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty impressive to see what they're doing. As a football fan, I'm like, man, I don't want to see that yet. Like, can we stop having dynasties on the AFC side? Yeah. I like the NFC where it's a different player all the time. Like, let's mix this thing up a little bit. You go from 20 years of the Patriots to the last 6 years of KC, and then potentially going back to the Patriots. Like, that is terrible. Like, the AFC needs to figure their stuff out.
No, absolutely. Look, nobody wants to see the Patriots do it again. I barely made it through the first dynasty of them. I damn sure don't want to see another one. And I got to tip my hat to Robert Kraft. As much as I hate the Patriots, the guy as an owner is amazing.
He makes the right moves. He gets
personnel sure does, doesn't he?
And I think probably the best thing about it is he doesn't double down on bad decisions. So when things stop working, he moves on.
And I think you have to.
Well, you have to, but a lot of people don't, right?
Oh, you mean like Jerry Jones? Is that where you're going to?
Well, no, he has stuff that doesn't work and he moves on, but he moves on with the same guy. It's kind of like
saying. Are you really moving on though?
It's kind of like you have a sister that likes to date toxic men, and you're just like, okay, you got to dump that guy, and she's like, okay, and then goes and gets the exact same dude with a different name. You're like, what are you
exactly, exactly, because you're changing the body, but you're not changing the personality.
Exactly. And so that's the problem with Jerry is he has a guy that he likes because he wants the yes men. And as soon as they're not yes men anymore, he's like, yeah, you should go.
Yeah, exactly. And let me ask you, so we get the Chiefs and we get the Colts.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like who are we going to find out who is the real deal on either one of these teams? Like, are we going to find out what Kansas City's real about? Or are we going to find out more about what Indianapolis really is?
So 2 things can be true. When you are looking at the Colts, they also haven't necessarily beat good teams, right? They have a win against the Bills, if I remember right, but that doesn't mean anything really because, well, the Bills lose to bad teams, so we don't really know. So this would be one of their first real quality wins. On the other side, if KC wants to get into the playoffs, they got to start winning now, right? They're 5-5. And so they have to get that thing going immediately. And this is a tough opponent. So KC's run coming up, if I remember right, they actually have some decent teams they got to get through. So this is a year that it's entirely possible that KC misses the playoffs.
And that's crazy. I mean, I didn't think I would see something like that, but you're right. And again, it's amazing. Like you said, they got an MVP caliber candidate, even though I don't think that they're going to give it to a running back, even though with what he's doing, I almost think you should heavily consider him. But I have a feeling Stafford or May will probably wind up getting it.
Well, I mean, the thing is the only way he's going to do it is the only way running backs have done it in the past. So it's either going to be they set the rushing record for yardage or they set the touchdown record, right? Or both, right? So when you look back to Sean Alexander, he rushed, he had a great rushing year and then set the touchdown record for running back. He wins the MVP, in 2005?
Right.
Fast forward a decade, Adrian Peterson, the last one to do it, also set the touchdown record as a running back. And so it basically, if it's not going to go to a quarterback, the running back has to reset one of the records. And could he do it? Absolutely, right? He's on pace to be, a 2,000-yard rusher. So could he beat Dickerson's all-time? Maybe. It's possible. Got to have some massive games, but, it's entirely possible. Could he get the touchdown record? Maybe. He'd have to start getting them at a little better clip than he is. But those are really, he has to reset one of those to even have a legitimate shot at the MVP. Otherwise, it's going to be Stafford or May or something like that. Like it's going to be a quarterback, because at the end of the day, it's a quarterback award. It just is what it is.
and that's the way I was thinking too. I mean, you really have to do something outlandish as a running back to be considered. You're not just going to have a good season and think that's going to get you there, right? And that's what you're saying for the most part, basically.
Well, and a receiver will never win it. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Because for them, who also gets those yards? The quarterback.
It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. That's nuts to me. I was really, from a fantasy perspective one more thing I want to say about last night's game. I was really amazed that Nico didn't, against that defense. I felt like Nico, they didn't go to him nearly enough. They definitely went to Christian Kirk a lot. And even with Higgins a little bit. But I felt like Nico just was not getting a whole lot of love in that game. I think he had 3 catches, 55 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And typically Nico gets a lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wasn't getting a whole lot. Even in the end zone, Dalton Schultz, they threw, I think, 2 or 3 times to Dalton Schultz, and he didn't come up with them, but he was definitely targeted in the end zone, and I didn't see Nico one time. I thought that was kind of weird to me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And for those of you watching, if it were to all end today, the Ravens and the Chiefs would both be out of the playoffs.
But I think the Ravens are going to write that shit quick. I don't.
The Ravens have a easy path because they also have a cupcake schedule, so they have a way to climb back into this thing. But yeah, I mean, KC, they got some tougher opponents on their schedule. So, I'll be curious to see if they come up short. And based on the way the Bills are losing, it's entirely possible that they fall out of the mix too. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if they necessarily have a QB controversy. The one thing I do know is Mills will probably not be on that team next year. I think someone will take a flyer on him because he has played really well. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see. They've been really inconsistent. I didn't like how they looked against the Broncos. That's for sure. Now the Broncos defense.
I wonder if a team like the Saints takes a pick on them or takes a flyer on them.
I don't know. I think they do like Suge there.
Or even the Jets, but God, would Mills want to go to the Jets?
No, he absolutely
Oh
wouldn't.
God.
No, the Jets will probably draft somebody because I mean, they're not going to continue winning, right? Like they've punted on their year. They, obviously they traded people away to get draft picks, and they might surprise a team or two because they were getting overlooked, kind of a trap game situation. But I mean, they're probably going to draft one of the quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is KC doesn't have a great defense, but the offense isn't great either. So, we'll see. I don't know. The AFC is kind of interesting at this point.
It's very interesting at this point. And, and don't overlook Jacksonville, man. I mean, they're still kind of hanging around a little bit.
Well, I mean, if it all ended today, they would be a wild card.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think they have really come a long way. Jacksonville has since last year, or even the year before that, even really. The last 2 years, they've come a long way.
And Stat Guy is off yesterday and today. And then Jay is gone all next week. Let's see what we got. Pags off Monday. So it's just me, holding this thing together.
All by myself.
Sad panda.
Or I could go feelings.
Right. So I'll be really interested to see what happens on Friday and then that following week, because I'll be on vacation. So I'll be curious to see if the show happens more than 3 times. I'm kind of taking the under, it's sort of a fun poll on my own, but
hey, and let's be fair, man. Hey, sometimes you need a little bit of a break. It's Thanksgiving. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know how you guys do Thanksgiving out where you are, but I will tell you, man, the whole damn week, people are gonna be at my house, man. And my house is gonna be stupid annoying because I like it. I like my peace and quiet. I do, but I like being by myself and doing my thing. And I'm gonna have for a whole week, I'm gonna have family members in and out of this house. Oh God.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. So the thing is Thanksgiving, we don't consistently do much. And so what we've done as of late is especially because we moved to Mexico for a couple of years, right?
Right.
So we have a group of friends that we actually just meet down there for Thanksgiving.
Oh, and nice.
So we're not going on Thanksgiving, which doesn't matter because obviously that's an American holiday and we're going to Mexico, so they don't care down there. So we're actually flying out the next morning. So Friday morning we'll be on a plane down to Puerto Vallarta. And so I won't be on the show if there is one on Friday because I will be in the air. But then, that following week we'll be down there. So I'll try and pop on from my phone, but I won't be running the show, for sure.
I'll tell you, I've only been to Mexico a handful of times, maybe about 7 or 8 times. Most of it was when I was younger out of San Diego. Most of it was in Tijuana. But there are a couple of times when I did go to some of the nicer spots, like Cabo San Lucas. I've been there once. And I'll tell you, and I don't know, maybe it's just because we were eating it on a resort. Maybe their food is different on the resort than it is out in town, like the real town part out of the resort area. But that guacamole in that resort, that guacamole was the best damn guacamole I ever had. I mean, that ceviche, the guacamole, oh my God, it was on point. Yeah. It was so on point.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, Jay, they should be better at the thing they invented. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually don't really like Cabo. It's like Mexico Vegas. Like if
it's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Mexico Vegas.
If it's that, I'll take the 2-hour flight to Vegas. Like, it's just, who cares? And it's an overpriced city in Mexico. So it's not even like you're saving a ton of money going to Cabo, which is why we like to go to Puerto Vallarta, because you can be in the touristy area, but then you can go like 5 blocks into town and you're in Mexico, and you can be going to, so like when we lived down there, we lived on the corner where we had a butcher, like right at the end of the block. And we had vegetable stands and stuff that were, it's like 5 blocks behind us and stuff. So like you went and you bought the things, and, obviously it's a very walkable town, stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, you say all of that to say that we don't do anything here domestically for Thanksgiving, because generally we're down in Mexico. So at the same time, generally I would host Christmas Eve, where I make ribeyes and stuff. So
hell yeah. I love a good ribeye, but it's gotta be medium rare. Anything beyond that, I can't do it. But if it's a good medium rare and well-seasoned ribeye, oh man, Bo, I'm all about that, because there's so much flavor in those ribeyes.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. And anybody that's making it more than that, first off, you wasted $100 on a piece of meat, and also ruined it.
Completely ruined it. Yeah, completely ruined it. But there are people in this world, Bo, that really believe that if it's not burnt, it ain't good.
They want it burnt. If you invite me over and hand me a burnt steak, it's the last time I'm eating at your house. So to be fair, if I'm getting sent to Cabo or Cancun for free, I'm going. But if I'm paying for the ticket and all of that, I'm probably flying somewhere else. So, and I mean, we've been all over Mexico, so we've seen some cool stuff.
Hey, speaking of Vegas, when the Dallas Cowboys did play the Vegas Raiders, I was wondering why CD and Pickens didn't play that first drive, and they said it was not because they were injured or anything like that. And then now it comes to find out they missed curfew because they were drinking. They were drinking, having a good time in Vegas, and they missed that curfew.
Yep. It's disciplinary action.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you think that, that had to be it. I mean, CD probably said, hey, George, man, fuck curfew. A few more drinks. Let's go hit these crap tables real quick, and then we'll be out of here.
Yeah.
And what does one drive really do for discipline? I'm just asking, what does one drive really do? I would think maybe a half would have been more appropriate.
Yeah, I think they were actually out the whole first quarter.
I could have sworn I saw them in there the second or third drive.
Yeah, I think it was their third drive, which would have been right at the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah.
So, I think it was just a quarter that they were sat down, and, it's not that big of a discipline because you're playing the Raiders and they're terrible. I mean, I mean, what is it really to them? I mean, if you're going to discipline somebody, that's probably the team you'd want. Either them or apparently Buffalo, who can't do a damn thing. So that's I mean, the biggest thing is it's not like it cost them anything, right?
Yeah,
you're like, okay, we didn't play for the first quarter, which, whatever, because it's not like it affected their game check.
Oh,
it's
no.
like they're like, hey, we're sitting you down for a quarter and you're losing a quarter of your game check, because obviously that would change the way that feels. But if it's just like, yeah, okay, we're going to win this game whether I play in it or not.
Right. Right. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, even in Dallas, it seems Dallas is starting to change a little bit. I mean, they are playing a little bit better than what they did at the beginning of the season, but it's still Dallas. It's still Dallas. I can't. I really want to believe that we can beat Philly. I want to get on that train, but in the back of my head, I've just eaten so much damn humble pie. I can't quite do it. I just can't get on that train.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing would make Jay feel better than to beat Philly. I mean, it really would, but I know it's not going to happen. I just, in my bones.
You can put some money on it by using the QR code right here on the screen. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee. If you bet on the Cowboys to win, you might have to utilize that 10% bet guarantee. Use the QR code, bet alongside us right here on Coast to Coast. If you are here in the Pacific Northwest, you can use the QR code here for a free 5-day pass, any of the 3 locations of True Fusion Gym, Bellevue, Ballard, University Village, and they do have Reformer Studios coming soon. So stay tuned for that. If you are a big Pilates fan, they have new Reformer Studios coming. Find your edge at True Fusion Gym. And there is one more. Again, if you are here in the Pacific Northwest, Archer Duct Cleaning, if you are starting to smell some of that burnt dirt smell, it's time to get those ducts cleaned. Air quality is huge when it comes to the colder weather. All the doors are shut, and you start breathing in some of that dust. Also, if you haven't had your dryer ducts cleaned in the last year, probably a good plan to do it. 15,000 dryer fires just here domestically in the U.S. every year. So if you're here in the Northwest, Archer Duct Cleaning, or anywhere else that you are, it is equally important to get it done. Definitely find a highly rated place near you.
Since we're talking about football and misery situations with teams, let's talk about Darnold a little bit. He says that 20 turnovers is unacceptable, and he is right. 20 turnovers is quite unacceptable.
It is.
What do you think about Darnold, man? Because he's on my fantasy team, and the last 2 weeks, combined is like 8 points, and that's. And I really thought once they got Shaheed over there from the Saints, and that when they brought him in, that he was going to light up, but he's not been that way.
Yeah. So a lot of this, obviously that particular game against the Rams, there was some bad decisions being made, no question. There are some very real offensive line problems, and I know I've said it here and a bunch of other shows. Anthony Bradford has been a liability on that offensive line at the right guard position. So that being said, Sam does have to play better. But even with all of those turnovers, he is still in the top 5 in efficiency in the league. So, you can say what you want, but even with a game where he threw 4 interceptions, ultimately he's still top 5 in efficiency. The fumbles you can accredit to the offensive line, though, because if you watch, especially against Arizona, those were free rushers through the offensive line. So that is a very real problem, not just in those moments, but when you start looking at any kind of playoff run, you need your offensive line to be able to stop anybody. Even at least slow them down, right? Like all in front of them, make them trip over you.
How do you feel about your team in reference to the Rams? How do you feel about that in terms of being able to get past them when it comes? Because I don't think you see them get to playoffs, right? I think you play them. Yeah. Oh, you see them one more time?
Yeah, we have them in 3 weeks, I believe, here in Seattle.
Okay.
And so I don't feel bad about seeing them. At the end of the day, we turned the ball over 4 times.
Right.
2 of them on our side of the field in field goal range, and they didn't score. We had the opportunity in the closing seconds to kick a field goal to win that game. If you give the ball up 4 times, you should be getting smacked. And for us to have an opportunity to win that, granted from 61, so the odds were low, but just because our kicker isn't that kicker, but
yeah,
that says so much about the defense, especially when you think of you still had starters not in. So incredible depth on that defense. I'm not afraid of the Rams. Do you think that we're going to turn the ball over 4 times the next time? Probably not. Right. And if you can hang with them and shut down Devontae Adams and, Cooper Kupp, or not Kupp, but Puka Nacua, that's awesome. So, I'm not afraid of them. And honestly, I would have rather lost one of the 2 games against them during the regular season, because you're going to see them again in the postseason. And it is tough to beat a team 3 times.
Well, and I guess maybe if you take that piece of advice, I'd probably want to lose to them again and then get them in the 3rd time, which would be the playoffs.
Yeah, you don't want to lose to them again.
No, I know. I'm just being silly on that one, but yeah.
Well, only because you don't want to hurt your chances to get in, because at the end of the day, the Niners are also a 7-win team. So you don't want to accidentally find yourself on the outside looking in, because although the Niners are beat up and like half their team is hurt, and they keep winning, and now they have Ayuk coming back. This should be Ayuk's first game back. They have Brock Purdy back. So the Niners are actually getting healthy at the right time and have found ways to win even when they weren't. So, you potentially see 3 teams out of the NFC West make it to the playoffs.
Hey, I'll be right back. Somebody's at my door. I'll be right back. Hold the fort.
The Niners are doing great. And so it's, it's really impressive to watch. As a Seahawk fan, it's super frustrating. So it's definitely not what you want to see, but I would fully expect to see the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers all make the playoffs from this division. The rest of the NFC really isn't. Yeah, that's right. It's the Bo Show. Yeah, it's sometimes, right? Just when you're looking at the way that the NFC is kind of shaking out here, is you got the Eagles at 8-2, you got the Rams at 8-2, Bears 7-3, Bucks 6-4. Again, they're leading their division, so there is that. And then you're looking at the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Niners. So that's really where you're kind of looking at this. But you got teams that are right there. You got the Lions and the Panthers, both 6-win teams that can make a run for this as well. So the NFC is very tight, but you could definitely see 3 teams out of the West, especially because some of our division games have already been taken care of. It is anyone's. And honestly, even the division is, because you're looking at the Rams at 8-2, the Seahawks at 7-3, and the Niners at 7-4. So there's only a game that is, kind of separating all these teams anyway. So it is definitely a situation where any one of those teams, this division is still wide open.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. And I wouldn't be very good at my job if I couldn't just, go on my own anyway, right?
That's true. And when you come to coast, Bo he's the best.
Yeah, I'm the glue that holds all the crazy together.
I'm just here because I'm beautiful.
And on that note, thanks for tuning in. No, it's yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am curious to see if the Cowboys can. I mean, you guys have to start winning now, but I'm curious to see if you guys can do anything.
Well, what I'm curious to see is, so we got Quinyon Williams, we got Logan Wilson as our, and then we got our rookie Shaquille, whatever that guy's name is. I don't know much about him. We drafted him, and he just finally made his debut. I can't remember the guy's name right offhand. But yeah, I agree, Donna. And Donna, I get it. Okay, we all know how bad the Cowboys are right now. But don't count us out just yet, because I gotta tell you, honestly, the defense, we did a good job against Ashton Genty. And just Genty he can be a dynamic guy running the ball. And I thought we did a good job containing the run. What I'm saying is, I think we did a good job containing the run. Now, where we're weak at is our secondary. We all know that we can put points up. All right, we have a good offense. We can put points up, and we can do pretty good containing the run. The weakness for the Cowboys is going to be that secondary, and that's the part that, if anything, is going to kill us. It's going to be the secondary, right?
Well, and this is why I'm curious if you guys can sneak in somehow. I don't think you do, honestly.
Right.
But when you think of the teams that are ahead of you, so you guys are 4-5-1. Right. So not exactly a record that you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to go. Right. But at the same time, the teams that are ahead of you are the Panthers, which, they're playing better, but they're not a great team.
Right.
You have the Lions, who have been a little bit inconsistent. And then you have the Niners and the Packers. So all of these teams are a couple games ahead of you, but they're all very flawed teams. So
especially the Packers too, because without Kraft, that team has looked completely different since Tucker Kraft went down.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is there is a path forward. Now, I don't remember exactly what your schedule is coming up. Obviously you have the Eagles again.
Oh, for sure. And we have Washington, I believe, again as well.
Yeah, but Washington isn't scary anymore. Because
no, they're not. But I'm saying that's a win in our column, though. I'm looking at it as a win, so we can get that win.
Most likely. Yeah, most likely. And so if we go, let's take a look at your schedule, because I don't remember if you have a path that makes sense. So let's see. You got the Eagles, which I figure you lose that. KC, you guys could actually win that. KC has not played great football.
And they're struggling with the run game in KC.
Well, but one of the teams that you have to try and get by in the Lions, you actually get to play.
Right.
Right. Now, I don't think you beat them, but the Lions have been inconsistent. So there's an opening there. Then you're looking at the Vikings, which are awful. The Chargers, which have found ways to lose. Washington and New York, both teams that are have a lot of injuries and aren't playing particularly well. So, you actually have some very winnable games. Now it's in December and January, which is when you guys forget how to play football. So, that obviously that goes against you too, but there is a path forward, but you have to start winning today. And I don't know that the Eagles are that win.
Now, I know one thing Pags will tell you is we always gear up for the Eagles.
Oh, you do?
We do gear up for that team.
Yeah.
Even like they beat us early in the season. What was that score? 24-20. They only got us by 4, and that was in Philly. So, it's not to say that we can't do something to Philly. It's not a foregone that we can't beat Philly. Is it going to be a tall task? Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And is a Dak stacked against us? For sure. But I do believe if we play them, they're going to have to beat us to the air. It won't be Saquon. It will be Antonio Brown, and it will be Dante Smith, and then maybe Go Dirt. I have to say, do they really even use a tight end? I have not seen them use the tight end all that much.
Yeah, I feel like they have to be making some game plan changes just because the offenses looked so bad for the Eagles anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and you're getting them at a time when there is some dysfunctional communication on that offense. And Lane Johnson's not going to be there. So, there are some things that – what I'm saying is there are opportunities. If you're going to attack the Eagles and beat the Eagles, this is probably the best opportune time because
you have to.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we have to, but I'm saying, but this probably is – this is going to be if we got them by 4 the last time in their home stadium, you can't tell me we can't do something this time.
Well, no,
especially so we improve that run defense a little bit more than we did last time.
Is you have to have these 3 wins right here.
Right.
Now, the other teams that you play are easier games. In theory, you should win those just on offense alone, you should win those games. These 3 are must-win games for sure because you need the conference wins.
Absolutely.
Because if you are going into the playoffs, and there's tiebreakers, you need those tiebreakers, right? So you need to have a conference win against the Eagles and against Detroit, who is, not leading their division at the moment. So you need that tiebreaker against another NFC opponent. So those are kind of the things that I look at there. But
I don't know, Donna. I know you seem to think that, but there are some ways to get around that and beat the Eagles. Remember, like I told you, they got us by 4 in Philly. We have improved that defense a little bit in terms of the run, and you got some dysfunctions on that offense. So I know that's very Brad. Like Brad was here, he probably, we're gonna kill the Eagles, we're gonna kill whatever. But
oh yeah, if it was Brad, he'd be like, it'll be like 59-6.
It'd be 110 to 3. And I'm only giving you 3 because, it's consolation points.
Pretty much. But we only get Brad when Pags is here, so. Because he doesn't watch for the show. He watches for Pags.
Joe's PTSD with Brad is probably at an all-time low right now.
No, it's funny because I love the little thing that I noticed with Joe. Because and Joe, thanks again for tuning in on the Pick'em show last night. But one of the things I've noticed with Joe is he will start a show on Pag's Facebook, and then as soon as Brad jumps in, poof, he's on YouTube. Which I appreciate because I could use the watch hours. So that is awesome. But
so what you're saying, you almost want Brad to come in so he'll slide over to your YouTube.
Well, no, I mean, obviously he's watching on YouTube right now because Pags doesn't, it's not on his Facebook.
Yeah.
But no, like it's funny because I've seen that correlation is he'll start the show on Facebook. And then as soon as Brad pops up, it's like, poof, and shift because then Brad can't see him. And then you don't get that stupid, stuff that Brad says every day.
Every day. I really still think he copies and pastes a lot, but yeah.
What was it?
I still think he copies and pastes a lot.
So the thing that's funny,
because it's always the same thing. The verbiage doesn't really change.
It is the same thing, but it was funny because my headphone cut out. And so all I heard was the paste, and it sounded like you said he eats paste. And I was just like, man, that is rough.
I don't know. Brad, we seem to have a question. Do you eat paste? And if so, what does it taste like?
There it is. So even if you don't think I am always watching. So, even when everybody's here, I'm the production end of it. So I'm always scanning. So I watch for trends and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's been funny to watch that as soon as Brad pops up on Facebook, it's like Joe's out.
But you're right though. I mean, that stretch of 3 games, that's the make or break point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those are the most important 3 games. Obviously the other ones are must wins as well. It's just they're easy wins. Because the teams aren't very good. They've kind of packed it in for the year already. Those 3 wins are really something that determines whether or not you are even going to be in the conversation for that 7th wild card spot. I mean, 7th is your best is your only option, honestly. But you do get to play a couple of key players that could, in theory, let that tie that you have on your record be the difference.
Right.
So. That's fair. But it's funny because you get in trouble not because of anything that you necessarily say. It's just because Brad wants to come after you for whatever reason.
Hey, did we want to end since we only got 7 minutes? Did we want to end the show talking about the Pat Bev situation, or is that too much of a depressing moment?
Yeah, let's not end on that. That's something we can talk about next week.
Yeah. That's almost evergreen right now. Evergreen content, anyway.
It is. Well, it definitely is moving forward because he got arrested. So, I mean, for those of you that don't know, you can Google it. But we will talk about that on Monday. But you're gone all next week too. So,
it's okay. It's all right.
I don't know. Maybe we don't even talk about it. I mean, basically, you can Google it if you want to see it. I figure we wrap this thing up with some power rankings here. And
yes, I'm good with that.
So the thing is obviously I make this for our Wednesday shows. But a lot of times we don't end up talking about it on Coast to Coast just because you never know where the conversation's really going to go. But obviously the Bills will slide a ton on this list after that loss last night. The rest of them, I'm still relatively happy with where they are. People are going to be mad at the Patriots, the Colts, and the Broncos. But the thing is they don't have good wins, right? Like they beat bad teams. Now you have to beat who's on your record. I know all that. Like we can move past that. But we have some of these teams going to play some good opponents this week. And you could see teams like the Colts move up this list quite a bit. You're obviously going to see the Bills drop down to probably 10th at best. They may fall all the way off just because of the way they've lost and the teams they've lost to. So
I don't like the fact that the Bears are at 10. I feel like they have played better than some of these teams, and I don't think they should be in that 10th spot, honestly.
So, you know, the thing that hurts the Bears and the Broncos is the way they're winning. So the Bears, when you're looking at Caleb Williams, he is good for his scripted beginning of the game. And then his level of play drops way off soon as it's soon as it's in-game adjustments. For whatever reason, he just doesn't seem like he transitions into that very well. They have a very good defense that keeps him in games. And then there's been clutch moments that he's come through to help seal a win. When it comes to the Broncos, why they're not higher for me. The first 3 quarters of the game, they are a 25th ranked offense. In the fourth quarter, they are the number 1 ranked offense. At some point, that's going to burn them. So that's why they sit a little bit lower, despite the fact that they have better records than a couple of the teams ahead of them. And it just, again, has to do with either the way that they're winning when it comes to the Broncos or the fact that the Patriots and the Colts haven't had all that tough of a schedule. So there's things that kind of adjust some of those.
And you know what's interesting to me, though? No, don't tell her that. No, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I like how she does that. And by the way, I'm not mad or anything, but I like how she does that. She says, "Hey, have a great weekend," and then gives a parting straight shot as she's out the door. No, Donna, don't tell me you want me to have a good Thanksgiving and then give a parting straight. And I can't even have and I can't. No, Donna, I see what you did there. Not nice. That is not nice.
Well, so the thing is she doesn't even want you to have a good Thanksgiving because the Cowboys play on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So I hope you like it, Donna. And I hope the Cowboys win and ruin your turkey and you're just sucking on tryptophan as you're laying in your bed looking at your husband who's happy as hell because I know he's a Cowboys fan. I hope they win. That's right, Donna. But I like the party straight you did there.
It's funny because that game can mess it up right away because it's the early game. It's the morning game. Well, yeah. On the East Coast, it's the first game because it's an afternoon game because you guys start later. But it's a morning game for me. That is a 10:30 start time on the West Coast.
Yeah, and I think for us, it's like 12 or 1. No, I think it's like 12:30, somewhere in there.
It should be 1:30 East Coast. So
yeah, so Central is probably about 12:30. Yeah. Yep. Right after church, I'm going to go get some Jesus, and then I'm going to watch the Cowboys. I'm going to say a few extra prayers that God, because we are God's favorite team. That's why Jerry put the hole there, so God could watch the Cowboys.
Is that why the world is so messed up? God is just watching football? That's
what Probably not.
I always laugh when you listen to, sports people because they're like, "Oh yeah, God made this happen." It's like there is zero chance. Say there's a God. Say all of that. There is no chance. You're putting the planet together and making all this thing and waiting thousands of years for football to happen. And then you're like, all right, go Browns. Like there's not a thing. Not a thing.
Hey, God does have a sense of humor. That's why he created the Browns and the Jets.
See, that's where I think I just have a different viewpoint, I guess. Cause like I'm not a God-believing person anyway, right? So let's just put that out there before I piss everybody off, which I'm gonna do. But but let's just pretend like that God is real and all of that, right? Let's go with that assumption. He is the asshole kid with a magnifying glass burning ants, right? That's why you have things like wars and cancer, and you're just like, man, like really? You're this all-knowing, all-powerful. You got to make all these really terrible things. Like, what are we doing? Like, you're just sitting there with an ant farm burning ants. Like,
well, he did give us free will, though, Bo, and he said,
sure did. And
he gave us free will to do what you want. And apparently you give a human being free will, and we just destroy everything.
That being said, before I get struck by lightning, we can go ahead and end the show because we are right there. If you don't see me next week, it's because I got smited. That being said, thanks for tuning in. We will see you all next week. Enjoy the games this weekend, and also like and subscribe. We got to say it every time because we need those. And it does help us give stuff away, like the cups that we're going to be sending to West Coast Win. So that being said, Take it easy, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving.